There is one simple thing that differentiates a company making 5-6 figures a year to the companies making 7, 8, even 9 figures a year, and that is having A players in your team. You cannot grow a business to 7, 8, even 9 figures a year without having A players. The owner, the founder, the CEO cannot be thinking for each one single department in their company. Every single day, they need to make the decisions. They need to tell each single of their employees what to do. You cannot be doing that if you actually want to grow to 7, 8, 9 figures. The thing with the 7, 8, 9 figure companies is that they have A players that are looking for the best interest of the company, are looking to grow the company every single day, and they're not just trying to clock in and clock out like the B and C players that the 5 and 6 figure companies hire. And one big thing is also that A players attract A players. B and C players attract B and C players. But with no further ado, I have a document that I want to run you guys through the whole hiring SOP that my team uses when we are hiring to hire A players every single time. So with no further ado, let's head into the document and let's go over it. First of all, why should we only hire A players? Because you might be thinking, why shouldn't I just hire a B or C player for simple positions in my company? The thing is, why we only hire A players is because we need to maintain high standards in our team. We need to have people that are culture fit, because you need to have set a culture in your company if you actually want to grow to 7, 8 figures a year. And you need to bring people into your team that have the drive of actually moving the business forward. They're always looking for different solutions, different methods to actually grow the business and make it move forward. One A player can attract another A player, but B and C players, what do they attract? They attract B and C players. So A players are not going to want to work with B and C players. So that's the biggest reason why we only want to hire A players. First thing. Then first step, or where we find A players for my team, what I've seen personally is the best of all is Facebook groups and your own team. Personally, that's what I've seen. For Facebook groups, for example, you can go and you're looking to hire a media buyer. So you can go on Facebook, search for groups with media buyers and put a job post. I'll go over the job post in a sec, and put a job post there, and you'll get people commenting on the comment on the job post that you did, or sending you a DM. Those are the two main methods. Or you can even put a form and they fill out the form. We'll go over it in a sec. Then your own team. People, this is something that I've seen so many people don't do, but if you have already A players in your team, ask them. Go and ask them, do you know someone just like you that is working hard, this and that? And you can give them a bonus. They take such a big process out of the hiring process. They save you time. Give them $50, $100 for referring an employee. The same you do to your clients when they refer you a client. Do the same to your employees when they refer you an employee. Because your own team are going to know an A player if they are an A player themselves. 100%. Then Indeed, I've seen Indeed is very good. Has worked a lot for us. I've used also Online Jobs PH a lot, mostly for like cold outbound people, like growth specialists and those kind of things. Then where I find, I would say like 40% of most of my team is my YouTube and Instagram audience. I just say it on the video, I'm hiring someone, or I go on my stories on Instagram and I just say, I'm looking for an editor, I'm looking for a media buyer, I'm looking for a closer, a setter. And I tell, okay, if you know someone or if you are someone, please let me know. If you know someone, if you refer that person to me and he's actually an A player and he's gonna stay in my company for 2, 3 months, 4, 5, 6, maybe when they hit 3 to 6 months, I'm gonna give you a bonus just for referring the person to me because he's doing a great job. And that's that simple. You can give people bonuses for referring people to you. The same you do to your clients again, you can do the same for employees, if you know what I mean. Then paid communities. If you are in courses or whatever that you have paid into, for example, hiring salespeople in paid communities is great. And yeah, very simple, self-explanatory. Then second of all is create and standout job post, because the job post is everything. That's what the people see, that's what the people read, that's the first impression they get from your company. And what does everyone say always? First impression lasts forever. It's just when you get a first impression, it's very hard to change it. Doesn't matter what happens, it's just the first couple of seconds is the most important of the whole. For example, for videos, for the whole video, for Instagram Reels, for the whole Instagram Reel. When you see a girl, is the most important 2, 3, 5 seconds. The first things you tell her is how she's gonna how she's gonna think about you for the next month, for the next 2 months, for the next time that you talk. You know what I mean? They're only gonna be thinking about how you. Okay. Second is create a standout job post, because having a standout job post is so important, because it's the first impression a person, an A player, is actually gonna get from you, because they are not talking to you when you're creating a job post. When they're actually applying to your company, the first thing they see, the first thing they read about your company is the job post itself. So it needs to be in a certain way to actually attract A players, because you don't want to be attracting, again, B and C players. It's like when you see a girl, and what's the most important seconds when you see a girl is the first impression, how they look at you, what you're wearing, are you clean, do you smell good, all of those things. Did you shave, all of that, do you look good, new haircut, everything. But also, what are the first 2, 3, 4, 5 words that you say to her? That's gonna make her actually make it or break it for you with her. Same comes to hiring, same comes to everything in life. First impressions last forever. I've heard that many times, and most likely you too. So with that being said, how do we create a job post that actually attract A players? First of all, we need to highlight what makes your company unique, because if your company is not unique, why should they join you? That's the first thing. And you need to attract A players by showing them that your company is special again, and they can grow in your company. They're not going to be stagnant in as a closer position. They can actually grow to sales manager. They go from sales manager to the next position, whatever you want to call it, from sales manager to the head of the sales department. They can grow within your company. They're not going to just be a setter for the rest of their life. So that's the most important thing. So this is the framework we follow to actually do a job posting. First of all, we do the company overview, information about the purpose of the company. Why, for example, we are Proposolar, we're hiring this for this, and this is something about us. We're a company, making 7, 8 figures in the solar industry, and we're taking over the solar industry, this and that. Just whatever you want to say, but you need to talk about your company, sell your company a bit in the start, and tell them the information and the purpose behind your company, why you're actually doing what you're doing. Second is adjective to your culture. You need to talk about your culture, because you just want to attract people that fit your culture. If you're looking for young people, say it. I'm looking for young people in this position. If you're looking for someone that has 5 years in experience, let's say it. I'm looking for someone with 5 years in experience. If you're looking for someone that takes action fast and doesn't stagnate and always procrastinates, say it. Those are your culture fits. You need to have high standards. For example, with my company, I say this a lot. We have high standards, but we have fun. We have a team that we always have fun together, but we have very, very high standards. That's how we play. And if you want to join a company, that's how it works. Simple as that. Then third, you need to go, why are you hiring for this position? You need to talk about why you are hiring for this position, because if you don't talk about that, why should they join? They need to know why. Why are you hiring? Why do you want to hire me? Why should I apply? Then where could this position lead to? Leads me to the same place that I was talking about before. Can they grow in the company? If you're hiring a closer, can you tell them, okay, you have the potential to actually grow to sales manager, head of sales, whatever. But you cannot just don't put that, because you're not going to attract the A players. You need to tell them, okay, where could this position lead to? Then this is something I use a lot, is that do not apply if. Do not apply if you stagnate a lot and you procrastinate. do not apply if you're over 35 years old and you're not looking to work hard. As an example, if you're looking for a woman only for this position, do not apply if you're a man. If you're looking for a man, do not apply if you're a woman. As simple as that, but do not apply if. Just say, it basically comes to a culture fit again also. If you don't take action fast, do not apply. If you're not looking to grow within the company, do not apply. If you're not looking to help the company grow and work here like you're one of the owners, basically, like you're one of the C-suite in the company, don't apply. I want you to actually care about the company the same as me. Of course, you're not going to care the same as me, but you know what I mean. So then 7, you need to tell them the company size. We're a team of 10 plus people, and then you see some vibe check. Yeah, we, like I just said, we have high standards, but we have fun. Or we have an average of 23 years old people. That's the average age in the company. And we're a very young company, but we're growing very fast. Just something, a vibe check, something fun. That's something that I like a lot to use. Then 8 is you need to sell them on remote and the privilege to actually work from home. This is remote from privilege to work in the office. If we hire someone for the office in the call center in our company, for example, we sell them on the privilege to work in the office. But remote, that's what 95% of the people we hire is. We need to sell them on remote. How important it is to be remote, so you can actually enjoy the time from your home, not have to travel between places, this and that. And then 9 is pay range. I see people miss this a lot. You need to tell people what they can actually get paid. What is the potential? What is the base? Of course, don't tell them what's the base, but tell them like, okay, you can make from 60 to 100K a year. That's the potential of this job that you're actually joining. And with this process, you're actually going to attract the right people, because you have, okay, do not apply if, company size, vibe check. You talk about your company, the purpose about the company. You talk about your culture. You talk about, why you're hiring for the position, what the person that you're hiring for looks like. You need to tell them, how do they look? What is the type of person you're looking for? I'm looking for a person that works out. Great. That's the only person I'm looking for. Then where could this position lead to? How can they grow? And the rest, like we just talked about. Then next step, when people start, seeing your job post, start applying, whatever, we use this. This is what we use. What's your first name, last name, email address, your phone number, date of birth, experience, how is your internet? We only hire 100% full-time, not part-time jobs. Then, are you currently working? If so, where? Which is basically checking again on this. Are you available 8 hours a day at least? Please list any relevant softwares you are good at. Then this one, I'm going to talk to you about this one in a sec. And then lastly, why should we consider you over the other candidates? We want to see people that actually put the work in this. If they're just putting simple answers, they're not putting the work into actually applying. So then, how do we review the submissions? First of all, we wait 2 to 5 days for applications to come in, depending on the position. Depending on what you're hiring for, CSM, closers, whatever, you wait 2 to 5 days to get enough of people applying, and then the same day and same moment you go through all the applications and go through the 10 to 15 candidates for initial screening. That's what I like to do. I choose 10 to 15 candidates for initial screening to make sure basically that we have enough of people to actually choose in between, but we're also taking a lot of people out. For example, if we get 150 people applying, we take like 10 to 15 that are actually the best out of those 150, and we take them to the next step. Then we use Looms to see how the person talks and how they present themselves, because if you cannot see how a person presents himself, if they're just writing, you're just gonna be surprised on the call. So you need to see them. You need to see how they move in the video, how they talk, how the tonality is. Depending on the position, even more important. If they are closer, more important. You need to see them, even a video of them, how they present themselves. Are they looking nice? Are they looking good? Not only in their face, if you know what I mean, but also just overall. What are they wearing? Are they shaved? Like I was just talking about, everything, so they look good. Then this is something optional. This is something I've used in the past and it works so well because you actually see what people are actually putting the eye into your, your company, because they are checking every single detail in every single thing that's connected to your company. So what I do sometimes is tell them in the email that they get when they fill out the form, or in the job post itself in like a little, to wear a certain color of shirt to the call or Zoom. If I send them in the email, so to the call, wear a white shirt on the call. If they come with a red shirt, what do I know? They didn't pay attention. If they come with a white shirt, what do I know? They paid attention. What I usually do is do like a yellow or red or blue, something that's not very common, so I can actually see, so it's not just luck. This is a very big one and very good one. Fourth step is initial screening calls with those 10 to 15 people we're talking about. But one thing, stay around, not leave the video, because I know it's no dopamine, not like crazy ads, this and that, but the dopamine is gonna come when you hire 8 players and you're growing your company to 7, 8, 9 figures instead of staying in those 5 to 6 figures. So stick around. I know there's no dopamine, but stick around. And then fourth step, like I was just talking about, initial screening calls. These are taken by the manager. For example, if I'm hiring a closer and I have my sales manager, the sales manager is going to take this call, not me. Why does he take it? Because he comes into the call as a friend to try to get the candidate to disqualify themselves. They're just coming in, talking like a friend and trying to get to know their, life a little bit more, trying to get to know how they are, because if they're just like trying to be very professional and everything, the manager and then they hop on the call, the other person is always going to be also try to be professional, because hopping on a screening call or whatever you want to call it, an interview. But if you come in as a friend, what is the other person going to do? Most likely be like a friend too. So when you're with friends, some things can come out of your mouth and you didn't even notice. So that's the thing why my manager goes into the call as a friend. Then after the call, if they get through the call and my manager actually likes them, then next step is having a task. We're going to book a follow-up call, and the follow-up call is going to be with me, like you see here, but we give them a task between the calls. We assign them a role-specific task, depending on the role they're assigning for, and we give them anywhere from 24 to 48 hours to finish the task. We don't give them more, because we have a tracking. Basically, we send them an email, and when they open the email, the timer starts. That's how we track it. Then second call is with me. If they went through the screening of my manager, they finished the task on time, we like the task and everything, the second call is going to be with me. What we discuss mostly on my call is pay, the role they are going to have on the company, and the culture fit. I emphasize so much on the importance of culture fit, because I don't want to bring someone that's not going to be the culture fit for the company. If someone procrastinates a lot, I don't want to bring him into the company. Doesn't matter if he's the smartest in the world in his position. I'm not going to bring someone that's procrastinating 99% of the time. I want people that move fast, take action as soon as I tell them something. As soon as they see something, they take action. They're not going to procrastinate. That's what I want. So that's basically the biggest thing I go over in that call: the importance of culture fit, the pay, and the role. Then if they go through the call and I decide to actually take them on board and I like them, the onboarding works like this. We automate emails to set up communication channels like Slack or Discord, depending on the position and everything, and depending on many things. Then we have a 2-week testing period with 2 to 5 days of training. So when they join, we tell them, you have 2 weeks to show me that you are able to actually take on this job. I'm going to give you 2 weeks, not more. I usually, depending on the position, for example, for closers, instead of bringing one closer, I bring 2 or 3 at the same time, and I tell them all together. I tell them, okay, I'm hiring one person. You guys have 1 to 2 weeks to show me who is able to take on this job the best. And there is competition there. That's what I like to do. Then we have 2 to 5 days of training, videos that we have set in place, and some, SOPs, templates, everything that we have set in place, scripts, everything that they need to learn depending on the position. We have 2 to 5 days of training. Then we have weekly training sessions, 5 for closers, 3 for appointment setters, 2 for CSMs, and 1 for media buyers every single week. That's what we have. Then we have 2 team calls per week for team union to make sure that the team is staying together. We're a whole team, a whole family together, and we're hitting our goals all together, and we're on the right track, basically. That's the main thing with these calls. Then after that, after this onboarding, we have the actual onboarding call. The onboarding call is most often with the head of the department, or with the manager, or with me, depending on what position we're hiring for. Then in this call, we outline the KPIs they need to hit consistently to grow within the company and not just stay at the same place. What did we talk about in the past? Can they actually grow within the company? That's the most important thing. If you actually want to get someone to actually be motivated to actually grow the company, they need to be able to grow within the company and grow with the company. So on this call, we tell them the KPIs they need to hit. Closer, okay, if you are hitting 35-40% close rate, and with this offer, rate, and with this show rate, and this and this and this and this and that, and you're cash collecting this, okay, this is the numbers you need to hit consistently for the next 3 months to be able to grow from closer to sales manager, as an example. So this is what we do to make sure that people are motivated, or team is motivated to actually grow within the company. And then lastly, and one of the most important ones, is we have quarterly anonymous feedback surveys. We gather insights on areas for improvement, what they like the most, what they need help with, and their views on the best employee in the team. We ask them, who is your best employee, who's your best friend within the company, everything, and who might need to improve some extra training, or who might need to be fired. If we get many people saying the same person to be fired, there might be a reason behind it. So we then start working around it. We're not going to fire them straight away, but we're not going to work around it, talk to the people that we need to talk to, and see why is that. So this basically gathers the whole process hiring SOP that we use at my company. And with this is how you are actually going to be able to grow a company, like I said in the start, from 7 to 8 to 9 figures, not just staying stuck at 5-6 figures. With that being said, I really appreciate your time for watching this 20-25 minute video that we have done here together. I really hope this helped and actually helps you get A players into your team and not just B and C players, so you can actually grow to 7 figures. But if you want me to help you get A players, set all of the systems into your team, get access to all of the SOPs in my 7-figure agency, and you want to grow to 50, 100K a month with your agency in the next 6 months, go down below on the description. I'm going to leave a video that is one of our partners, David. He scaled from 0 to 30K a month in 30 days. You can have a look at that. I'm also going to leave a link so you can book a call with me, a one-on-one call with me, so we can actually make the roadmap on how to scale to 50, 100K a month, set the financial model to make sure and make it inevitable for us to actually hit those targets that we want to hit in 6 months. And then also DM on Instagram if you have any questions or whatever. If you want this document, I'll send it over to you. No worries. I also have some trainings on this document and everything. So just DM on Instagram and we'll talk soon.